Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris. I'm a pro piano player and I post videos like this every Wednesday. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you in advance. So today we're going to talk about reharmonization, yet again, one of my favorite topics. And we are going to implement on Die with a Smile some of the techniques that we learned in the Reharm game. If you haven't seen that, I'll post a card up here at the top so you can check out the playlist of all that. We go from beginner all the way to pro level. And in the pro level, which is the last video of the series, the pro level, we talked about how, a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to show you a way to change the feeling, not even worrying about the melody, just picking a different chord. And this goes into chord substitutions. And that is by using the relatives, whether that's relative minor or relative major. So Die with a Smile is in the key of A, and I started off in the key of A, but as you noticed, I modulated to the key of C, one for simplicity's sake, for, explanation and things like this, but also, and we can talk about this first point, which is transposition. So just using, let's say, the 5 of the new key, that's one of the quickest ways to make the new key make sense, is by using the 5. Right? So I went from the key of A to the key of C, which is okay, so I used 2-5 in that case. But I look at a 2-5-1 as really just a 5-1 because D is the 5 of G. And in the Jazz Theory book by Mark Levine, he talks about this 5 of 5 concept. 5 of 5 of 5 of 5. You can do as many of those, He talks about the circle of fifths, That's C, G, D, A, right? So but if we go backwards, A, D, G, C, we got so what happens if I use the circle of fifths backwards, going to C? It's just fifth intervals going to C from A major. Let's see what that sounds like. Going in the circle of fifths anywhere can be an effective way to change keys, right? So transposition is one of the first ways. Another way is, like I said, using the relatives, relative minor or relative major. If we go to the vamp, we'll go in the key of C, but if we go to the vamp of Die with a Smile, we got the first chord here is D minor. So the relative major of D minor is F. Right? F major. These are the same two chords, just F major is D minor because they both share the same right hand notes. But D minor. You see that? So we could change those two out. So it starts on it's 2-5 is the first change. But we can play F first. Now go to the 2. So the chords are D minor to G7 sus, which is, again, this is just F major 7 over G. You know what I'm saying? It's the same chord. So you can really just, again, like I talked about in the Reharm Game series, I think of everything, as what's the chord shape in my right hand and what are the bass notes that go along with it. That's how I kind of think about chords. I don't really think about, oh, it's called this extension. I just look at the shape, right? So if the shape is the same, I'm just going to move the bass note around. You can do all that kind of stuff, right? So even B flat. What did I do there? So instead of D G, I did B flat major 7, sharp 11, but really that's just, again, the same chord shape over B flat. It's the same chord. It's just really just different bass notes. So right there I went to A minor. So the melody is E. And just like in the Reharm game, I said, okay, E, I'm going to say that this is the 5 of something, which is A. And I made it minor, but I could also make it major, remember? So but the reason why I chose minor is because you have to look ahead where you're going. The melody here, it goes up. Now if it were if the next melody notes fit the A major scale, then we could probably play A major. So just analyzing the melody and what's happening with that and seeing, okay, you can use the reharm game tactic, for reharmonizing the melody, but also you can just instantly use minor or major thirds. What's a minor third down? What's a major third up? I hope that made sense. Let me know in the comments if it's a little cloudy, and I'll clear it up in another video for you. Now, the relative major or minor technique doesn't really alter the feeling too much. It's not a drastic change because the chord in the right hand stays the same more or less. But just like on the very last note of this song, I chose to, so when it goes, again, I used the 5. So that last chord is C. So the last chord is C major 7, right? But the melody note is a B, right? So how can we write this? So B is the melody here. But the Reharm game says I can choose any extension, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, sharp 11, flat 13. But I chose to make this again the 5. So B is the 5 of what chord? That's E. So now the new chord that I chose is E major 7 because that B melody note. So what we can do now is go back to using the relative minor or major technique. So since this is a major chord, we use the relative minor, which is C sharp. And the relative minor, the quick way to look at that is it's the 6. The 6 of E. What's the 6 of E? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or I see it, I look at it by going backwards. I start at 8 or 1. 8, 7, 6 or 1, 7, 6. So that's C sharp. So now if we do, so this would be C sharp minor, right? So now if we do, that's beautiful. So, you know, or and really what I played was C sharp minor 11. Which I think of that as just a B over C sharp minor. Does that make sense? B in the right hand, C sharp minor in the left hand. And then I just spread it out. If you want to get a further breakdown of the Reharm game, I'll leave a playlist right here so you can check it out. Go watch it, have fun with it, come back and let me know what you're doing with it. I'll see you on the next one.